So welcome back to Driving Until Destroyed, the series on our channel where we drive vehicles until they are destroyed. So you can see in the background, right above my vehicle here, the two spinners in the background there, in the background. And those spinners in the background are going to be in the background the whole time except for when they're not in the background, when they're right in front of us, if we can't steer and we end up running into them. Right now they're in the background. So, we are starting this episode off with the Ibishu Covet, the Pointless. There's going to be a trend for the vehicles that I will try to keep if I can find enough of the vehicles that have versions sort of like this. Now, I'm going for a sort of demolition derby aspect type of vehicle thing for now, which means we will probably have another one of those new vehicles. Don't remember what it's called. Figure it out when we get to it. But I saw a demolition derby version in there, so I'm gonna have to check that out for sure. Whee! Good jump. Nicely landed. Now, my hope with vehicles like this is that they're hopefully going to be strong since they're made for destruction, surviving while being destroyed. That is my thinking with these sorts of destruction derby vehicles. Also, I did move that one further away from the road, which is a good thing. But you can see how if I couldn't steer, that would be an issue. And we might not see that in this episode. We'll definitely see that in a future episode, depending on how long the series continues for, that is. And I plague myself. I plague myself by recording like 3-4 of these episodes in a row, and then have to edit them, and don't want to record anymore until they're all out. And this is the second one I've recorded in a row here. I'll probably end up recording a third one. It is almost midnight, so I probably won't end up recording a third one. I might actually record a third one and just stay up past midnight. That's alright too. I record when it's late at night because no one can bother me, because everyone that I care about or that would bother me is sleeping. Ouch. That broke the radiator. That was quite the fun hit. Oh. That front left wheel doesn't turn anymore. No, it doesn't. Can we steer ourselves out of this? Not in the water. Out of the water. Yes. Yep, we're good. Good, good. Good, good, good. The water probably just, all it did was cool the engine off a little. Yeah, that front hit destroyed that wheel. Honestly, if that wheel fell off, that would be better than it is now. And if we get back to the spinners, we're going to see how that goes. Front left half shaft broken. I thought it was already broken, but now it's even worse. It barely turns right anymore. That's not good. If we can get it over 20 miles an hour and turn it right, it'll be fine. If we can't, it will be out. It's working. This should be easy. It's a left turn. Yeah. Nope. It's turning right now. Why do you have to be so stubborn, wheel? Can I knock it off in the potholes? Oh. Or on the wall, because it's not turning. That probably made it worse, honestly. Also, I think this is front wheel drive. Yes, it is. There's only one wheel driving the vehicle. I don't think we're going to get over 20 miles an hour, though, to go much further. No. We're not going to. So, that's where the COVID ends. 1.6 miles. Almost a full lap. One bad hit on the front broke that front left wheel, and that was basically the end for it. Alright, so for the next vehicle, we have the Gavril Barstow, the Awful. You can kind of see the trend here with crappy vehicles. You can also not see spinners in the background. Yes, my game crashed. Twice, trying to load them in. So, it has now been 20 minutes after the last recorded clip that you saw, and we're just going to go without them. So, you know, that was a bust. It was a cool idea until it wasn't. So again, beat up old vehicle. I guess we aren't really going for demolition derby. We're more just going for old broken things that no one ever drives in this game anyway. Because they're at the beginning of the car list, so they're the cheapest, so they're the most broken. But it still drives, and not that slowly, so that's good. Even though it might look bad. Again, the thinking here is, well, they should work better. They're more beat up, built for that. However, if you look at that rear left tire, that suspension is completely collapsed. There's barely any travel in there at all, which is not a good thing. Actually, I think the whole rear that rear suspension looks fine, but that wheel, that is collapsed. That is rear left suspension is collapsed there. Ignore my wonderful English. English is my first language, if you didn't know that. I don't know if you could tell or not. So another thing about these awful vehicles, I guess I was thinking, oh, they're made for being beaten up and stuff, but that would be for Demolition Derby vehicle. So if you corrected me in the comments, thank you. I didn't look at them yet. Of course, the video's not uploaded yet as the time I'm recording this. They're going to be old rundown parts, all destroyed and stuff. That's why the back suspension collapsed so bad just now. They're going to be all beat up old vehicles, so there's not going to be much in the way of good with them. This is like the first vehicle that everyone gets. Well, not everyone, I guess. There's kids in my school with BMWs, and I guess a lot of kids at my school have Civics. Anyway, like new Civics, new Honda Civics. There's a guy in my school with a Yugo. It is amazing. Little red Yugo. Sorry. If a picture popped up there of a Yugo, you're welcome. If it didn't, you're welcome. Because I forgot, or I didn't feel like it. Like finding a picture of one and putting it in the video, because that would be too much work. I guess it would be too much work, yeah. Not really. It would be pretty easy. I'm just lazy. So I wouldn't 100% expect it, but if you see the picture of a Yugo, there you go. If you see another picture of a Yugo, if you do see multiple pictures of a Yugo, then thank me, because I actually put more time than just 45 minutes into editing a 20-minute long video, so you're welcome. Okay, rambling on. We've made a lap. I don't have many concerns yet. Rear suspension is fully collapsed. Front suspension is getting there, if it is not already there. I think front suspension's good. Rear suspension's gone, especially rear left. Rear right could still be a little alright, I guess. Uh-oh. Alright, let's go. We're not going to clear the jump, but don't hit bad. Oh. Says don't hit bad. Continue, or proceeds to hit bad. We might have another frame go out if that keeps happening. We've had so many frame accidents in the past few episodes. It's crazy. More than we have seen. We saw like none before, at least in the course of me making the leaderboard, and now we see 2 of them within 3 episodes so far. Actually, I think 3 of them within 3 episodes, 3 or 4. None of them in this episode yet, but the one before this and the one before this had a couple of frame accidents. If you didn't see those, go check them out, because they do exist, and it's basically this but with different vehicles, and you'll see the leaderboard at the end of this, and wish that you saw some of the runs from those vehicles, because some of them were very interesting. Some of the shorter ones were interesting for sure. No actual engine problems besides the radiator. I'm surprised that didn't break the drive shaft. Look at that rear right wheel now. Yeah, rear suspension is just completely gone. It's bottoming out a lot. Rear right suspension's still there a little. Rear left, I don't think there's any at all. Oh, front wheel. That is bad news. That is. That news was bad. Poor news. Doors open. Close. Close door. Close. Front left wheel. Little bent. Little bent. I think. Looks like she is a little bent, actually. Alright, well, I mean, the engine's getting cooled off a little bit with the water. Not really. It might overheat, might go out by that again. Looks like the engine was starved with oil. I don't think it was. I don't think this flipped upside down, did it? I don't think so. However, the smoke, that gray smoke, is making me think it is. Actually, maybe it over-revved, or the oil overheated or something. Head gasket blew. That's actually, yeah, I think that's normally from a head gasket blowing. It's the color of the gas, so it might be. I don't know. My microphone is currently blocking that UI app showing what is wrong with the car if anything pops up. I should probably actually move the microphone. I'll do that in between vehicles. Or once this thing dies, I'll do that so I don't forget. 3.3 miles. Back to that. 3.3 miles, not bad. That means it has made it 2 laps, and it is on a 3rd, which is a lot further than the Covet got. Moving the microphone. Don't go in there. Okay, I moved the microphone. You probably couldn't hear that, but I did move it. It is no longer in the way of the UI app. So now I can see, for the most part, what's going on there. Front right wheel, that is very, very bent. I am pulling to the left very badly. I think both front wheels are pulling to the left slightly, but that front right one especially, that is no longer straight by a long shot. At all. Not straight at all. Yeah, no. If I don't steer at all, yeah, no. Those are definitely both turning to the left. Which means I need to tend to the steering a lot just to get it to go straight. Turning to the right is almost out of the question. Which would be a steering failure if it was out of the question. However, it is still steering, so we're going to keep it going. See, these old beat down cars are not doing that bad. They're doing better than some of the other vehicles that aren't old and beat down. Actually, than a lot of vehicles that aren't old and beat down. This might make writing the leaderboard pretty easy if they're all on the same page of the leaderboard. Page 1 of the leaderboard is 1 through 9. Page 2 is 9 through 18, so on. Rear-wheel drive vehicle. Problems. Rear drive shaft. Broken. That's not good. Which means that even if I rev the engine, none of the wheels are going to move at all. Which is a shame. Anyways, that is the end of this vehicle, not video. You thought I was going to say video. Vehicle. We have one more, of course. Don't know what it is yet, but this one went out because the drive shaft broke. Shame. It actually did better than I thought it would, especially for being a big junk beater. Didn't actually do too bad. And finally, for this episode, we have the Gavril D series, the Ramrod. This is from some sort of mod pack that I didn't mean to do that. That I have installed, probably from Rock Heap. It's a map mod pack that has custom vehicles made for it. If you would like to see an episode with all the custom vehicles, or 3 of them, that were made for that mod pack for the Motorstorm-esque driving that's made for this sort of beat 'em up banger race sort of deal, let me know in the comments. I'll probably do it anyway. No one ever leaves things in the comments. So concerns about this vehicle. Axles are very exposed, so it has a pretty good chance of a wheel snapping or something along the lines of that, because it's high off the ground. Oh, well, speak of the devil. I didn't even notice that. Is that coincidence or what? Look at that front right wheel for a second. Right when I said, oh yeah, the wheels are exposed, so it might break an axle or bend an axle wrong or something. Right when I said that, guess what it did? Bent an axle wrong. Whoa, who would have guessed? Apparently me. I'm pretty good at that, I guess. Also, I think the rear right suspension is also collapsed because that bed is not sitting level. Oh! Turn on. There we go. She's done. Gosh. That is... It can barely even keep running. It turned off. Wow. Those front wheels are very bent. Actually, it might keep going here. Did I fix it? I fixed it. No, it's not done. It's going to keep on. Just had to turn the wheels a little. Dang, that front suspension is very gone, though. It is now just scraping the ground. No, it's gone again. Nope. It's done. Dang. Those front wheels are just very floppy. But again, exposed vehicle. It does that. Barely even wants to turn on anymore. However, that is the end of this episode. Go ahead and I'm gonna put this down as 1 mile because it'll round up to 1 mile anyway. If I put it in the calculator. Here's the current leaderboard. So now on to the leaderboard for episode 13. So in third place, we have the Gaffel Barstow the Awful, which went 4 miles and broke because of the drive shaft. Then following a little ways after, in 15th place, we have the Ibishu Kovet the Pointless, which went 1.6 miles and broke because of the axle. And close under that, in 19th place, we have the Gaffel D Series the Ramrod, which went or rounded up to 1 mile and broke because of the steering. So I have written this vehicle down as steering because it doesn't turn anymore. That's the reason. The axles are still attached. As you can see, I can steer. It just doesn't go straight. Or turn. I guess it kind of goes straight. However, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave suggestions in the comments for vehicles that I can use. Some sort of vehicle classes I can use. Ideas, all that. I'm actually going to use the new walking mode they added. I talked about this in the last episode. They added a walking mode into the game. However, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, hit the red subscribe button, and that bell icon down below to get notified of when I upload. And until next time, this has been Dresden, and goodbye.